Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm the Trapbox Gamer. We're back with Days Gone. Now, it's come to my attention that, despite this being a Halloween video, not much has been kind of Halloween themed. Yeah, we're fighting zombies, but it's like, it feels like a normal video, don't you think? So, from here on out, if the video is not too story driven, like, for example, the last few weren't too story driven, this one's not that much. I'm gonna share a scary story.
Yeah, I seen what you assholes are up to.
While he's doing that, I'm going to be sharing a scary story. Let's start with a short one, but a classic. The portrait. There was a hunter in the woods. After a long day of hunting, he found himself to be in an immense forest. Having lost his bearings, and it getting dark, he decided to head in one way and hope that direction led him out of the forest. However, hours have passed, and he's still not getting out. That is, until he finds a cabin in the middle of a clearing. Figuring he could stay the night, he approaches. He sees that the door is left ajar, and heads inside. Nobody's home. Figuring that it'd be easier for him to just stay the night and explain to the owner rather than get lost in the woods, he decides to sleep on the bed. As he lay down, he was shocked to discover that this cabin was decorated in portraits. Portraits of people, positioned where it looked like they were staring right at him. The darkness twisting their features, looking that of pure hate. The hunter, being unnerved by this, decided that the best option to do is just go to sleep and leave in the morning. When the hunter woke, he was shocked to find that there weren't portraits decorating the walls. No, what he was looking at were windows. Well, that was the first story. I like it. It's a classic for me. It's the first creepypasta I actually read. Now, my question is, what were those people at the windows? Were they ghosts? Were they skinwalkers? What were they just normal people? Because I think that'd be a lot scarier if it were just normal people being creeps in the forest. You know what I mean? But what do you think they were? This actually reminded me of a personal story I had as a kid. I think I was...
Can't let any of them get out of here alive. Bunch of rapists and murderers.
I would say... Oh, shit. I would say I was maybe 6, maybe 7. I was just a little kid. But I had a bunk bed. And every night, I would try to sleep on the top bunk. But the thing is, my window, the curtain didn't cover it completely, so I could look outside. Typically what you do with a window. And there was this fire hydrant, like, at the corner of the street that I could see from my window. The thing is, at night, the fire hydrant, it didn't look like a fire hydrant to me, it looked like a tiny person. What was worse is that recently I saw the Chucky movie, and that scared me shitless because I didn't like dolls, and since it was a little person, I thought it was like Chucky. Especially since it looked like it was moving at night, so I can never really go to sleep on the top bunk unless I was facing the opposite part of the window, so I couldn't see it. But it was always there in the back of my mind that that was Chucky moving,
There's one. Gotta finish this.
To be honest, I do feel like sharing more personal, scary stories, but as a kid, and now I know that there's some logic behind everything. So I feel like it takes out the scare, like, it's not really a scary story, it's just my scary experience, I guess you could say it like that. For example, as a kid, I had a pile of clothes in my room, and every night it would look like Charmander from Pokemon. And if you're a Pokemon fan, I think I got caught. I got caught. If you're a Pokemon fan, that might not sound too bad. The thing is, this Charmander looked big. Like, I know we're all thinking of that tiny little fire-type Pokemon, but no, this one looked like a giant Charmander. What's worse is that it had this nasty, toothy grin at night. So it looked like it was grinning at me with these sharp teeth. And that scared the hell out of me as a little kid. Fuck all of you. The thing is, once I told my parents about it, they were like, just put your clothes away and it goes away. And once I'd done it, no more evil Charmander looking at me at the edge of my bed. Just a side note, this area, for some fucking reason, took me at least 2 hours to just complete. I'm not showing all the attempts, because fuck that noise. Just know that this particular area, it could go fuck itself. Alright? It could go fuck itself. I hate this place. Now, speaking of scary stories, I think the first scary story I ever wrote, or at least tried to write, was a creepypasta. And it wasn't a good one. It was called Goodbye Carmelita. It's a Sly Cooper creepypasta, and the inspiration from it came from a dream. See, in the dream, there was not much context to it. I'm gonna be honest. I remember you. You're not scaring me this time. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. You're gonna alert everybody else. Fuck off. The thing is, I had a dream where, you know, it's like too when you're captured by Neela and Contessa, and the fourth chapter, the fourth level, it's Bentley saving Sly and Murray, and then the next one you're slaving Carmelita. Well, the scene where you find Carmelita and it zooms in on her eyes being blue and her mind getting tricked. That was the scene that was in my dream. That kind of rhymed. But instead of it glowing blue, it was kind of a darkish gray. And that was the only thing from the dream. No context, nothing. So I tried to put some logic into this, like, little tidbit of, you know, of a dream that really honestly had nothing to go with. And it popped out a shitty story. Really, it went with the concept of you messing with the cheat code, skipping the level, skip saving her. But that doesn't really make sense, because if you skip level 4, like I would have, because I hated level 4 too, that meant that Bentley wouldn't have been able to save Sly or Murray. So the thing is, you really have to have a realm of disbelief when getting into the story, and fuck, you didn't see me. I call bullshit. But basically, how do I say, I haven't actually wrote anything, I just made the story up. And I did do a video on my old channel, but that's been long deleted. Fuck, I think, yeah, I'm fucked. The reason why I bring it up is because I remember someone made a comment, you don't remember your dreams. Which, that is true to some extent. I don't remember, like, tiny details, but I do know some very important bits and pieces. You're probably wondering where the fuck am I going with this. Well, I want to share the first nightmare I ever had, because I clearly remember the important details. I don't remember the small details, though. The thing is, I was probably... I had to be at the age of 4, because I know that I lived in a different city at the time. So, around the age of 4. And I remember being in a car, which, you know, that doesn't strike me as odd. I know that my parents, they had to drive me around just to get me to sleep at night because I had trouble sleeping. So, that wasn't odd to wake up in the middle of a car. It's just, the difference is, this car ride was silent. There was no music being played, and I thought that was kind of odd, so I decided to ask the driver, which would have either been my mom or it would have been my grandma. It would have been someone I knew, where we were, what's going on. And when I looked over to the driver's side, you know the Phantom from Scooby-Doo? That one Phantom that went through walls? It was like early season Scooby-Doo, probably the first Scooby-Doo cartoon coming out, something along that lines. Well, regardless, that's who was driving the car. And on the passenger was another Phantom of him. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know who the fuck these are. I mean, I do, but I don't. And as I noticed who was driving, the ghost driver kind of turned sharply and looked back at me. I had this nasty, like, scowl on his face. And that's when I thought I woke up. You know when you wake up in a dream and you wake up in a different dream? Well, I woke up and I was still dreaming. I was in the living room, and I thought, okay, I'm safe. I'm going to be A-okay. The front door to the living room just, like, burst open, and it was the same ghost. And they're like, you thought you were safe. Oh, no. We know where you live. We're going to... At the time, my dream was all like, they're going to kidnap me, and... Did he catch me? I don't think anyone caught me. We're good. And that prompted me to wake up. But since I was asleep in the same room where the ghost popped through the door, I was like, oh, fuck no. I got up, ran into the nearest room with my parents, and, you know, slept there at the night because, you know, had a nightmare. That right there was, like, the first nightmare I know I have. It's just, I don't remember the small details in between, like if there was anything said, anything that important happened between those major moments. It's just like, that's kind of creepy. I mean, for a little kid, that's absolutely horrifying. And if you're wondering, did I still watch Scooby-Doo afterwards? Yeah, I still watch Scooby-Doo. I kind of find it funny because as a kid, I was like, shit scared me pretty easily as a kid. Yeah, I would watch Scooby-Doo, which, it's not, I wouldn't say it's too scary. It's just other cartoon that I watch, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I would watch that and be fine with it, except for a few parts, and they were far in between. I think the first scary thing that scared me in Courage the Cowardly Dog was the big white head in that one episode with the Harvest Moon. I don't remember the details, but if you know, you know. And it's like, that threw me off because it was just a live version of somebody's head floating. Still didn't deter me from, not watching it. Still watched it. I think the second thing that scared me was the claymation girl from the delivery. When Courage, Eustace, and Muriel are in a city and the roach has him deliver something. The claymation girl. Yeah, that part scared the fuck out of me.
How do you like that?
Then I think the other thing that really scared me watching the show was the mask. Not the plot itself, but literally just the mask of the, kitty. It just had these big-ass eyes that looked like it stared right into your soul. As a kid, that horrified me for some fucking reason. Alright. Now, how about we go back into some actual stories? While this is my personal experience, I do want to share a phenomenon. I don't know what you would call it. It's knocking, but there's no one there. Yeah, have you ever experienced that? Like, 3 distinctive knocks on your door, but there's no one there. Now, typically, I would figure someone in the house, family members, a younger brother, a younger sister, they're just messing with you, right? I mean, that's the most logical answer. Someone's just messing with you. But what happens when nobody's around, or better yet, there's no way they could have messed with you without getting caught? One night, it was late. It was very late. Everyone was fast asleep. I hear knocking on my door. The typical 3 knocks. I call out asking, who's there? What's up? It's something along the lines. No response. I get up, I open the door, and with that time frame, there's no way someone could have knocked on my door and walked away. Now, of course, there's always a possibility that someone in the house is just messing with me, and I couldn't catch them in the act. That's the logical explanation, and I won't deny that could happen. The thing is, there was one time when I was alone. No one was home, and I still experienced the same thing. That one time, I didn't say a damn thing. I kept quiet. I didn't even open the door until I knew people were actually home. It's just, that was so fucking bizarre in my eyes. And then I started looking it up because I started thinking about it. And when I looked it up, well, apparently you're not supposed to open the door when you hear the knocking. It's an omen or some shit. That leaves me with some questions. Like, okay, is it an omen when I open after? Like, say I hear the knocking, I know the shit, and I just don't open it. I wait a little later, because eventually I'm going to have to leave my room. Do I get the omen then, or is it, literally after you hear the knocking? Because, 1, I think I already done that when it first started, so I'm kind of fucked. 2, I just have a question. What does an omen do, exactly? There's no real description. It just says it's a bad omen. Does that mean I get bad luck? Does that mean, I've heard it saying that you die. I have yet to die. Am I fated to die? Is it that kind of shit? I mean, that's kind of fucked if you think about it. I guess... I guess it doesn't really matter because nothing really has bad happen. I don't want to tempt fate by actually looking into... maybe it's powered by belief. Because there's some shit like that. Since it happened when I didn't know shit about it, maybe nothing happens. I feel like since nothing happens, I believe nothing bad happens. It's just a weird occurrence. So that's gonna be the default. Nothing happens. It's just mildly annoying, mildly creepy. I think I could live with that. Did you see me? You didn't see me. I'm hiding. I'm hiding. You can't see me. Fuck you. That's right, buddy. Don't turn around. Oh, fuck. You could have just kept your back turned. But no, you had to turn around. Fuck you. It would have been nice and swift, but now I'm caught. And for anybody that suggests I use a Ouija board to check shit out, let me give you my response. Fuck no. 2 reasons. Reason number 1, I don't fuck with the paranormal shit. I don't fuck with ghosts. Mainly because, typically, you can't punch ghosts. So there's no way I could protect myself. Physically. Number 2, I don't know what I'm contacting. It could be a simple ghost, or it could be a demon. I am not playing those odds. You know, speaking of all this Ouija board, ghost shit, I do have a question. I do have one question. Why do people go around fucking with shit? Like, why? The points that I brought up, like, you can't physically attack a ghost, a demon, poltergeist, whatever the terminology is. You can't physically attack them. You can't defend yourself. No, number 2, you have no idea who the fuck you're calling, who you're contacting with. Like, oh, you want to talk to your dead relative that you love so much? Well, what if it's just some demon fucking with you? You get what I mean? Like, emotionally manipulating you. Oh, fuck. Hi! You are not killing me. You are not killing me. I am done dealing with everybody in this area. Alright? I am done. 2 hours! Stuck in this shithole. If someone in the comments could tell me why they would fuck with paranormal shit, go for it. If it's just for shits and giggles, perfectly acceptable answer. Okay, so moving from the ghost stories, how about some creepy gaming moments, or how do I describe it? It's not scary stories per se. It's not even from horror games. It's just moments in games that kind of rubbed me the wrong way or happened that I wasn't expecting. If that makes sense. Like, for example, Kingdom Hearts 2, and there's going to be a small spoiler. I'm sorry. I mean, it's been out a long time, but if you haven't played the game, just a tiny little bit of a spoiler ahead. I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on the original PlayStation 2. This one particular playthrough, I was accessing Antiform a lot more than I usually do. Which, if you know how to access it, it's usually just overusing the drive forms. Now, fast forward to, you know, the scene after Goofy gets hit by the rock, and fast forward to that point. During the part where Sora's fighting alone, going through to the next area, where you're aided by all the Final Fantasy characters, at one point, I end up dying. I think it was right at the cavern's entrance. Now, I was annoyed, because that meant I had to fight Damix again, and I hated fighting him at the time. Well, still do, but anyway, when it came to the game over screen, instead of the load or quit game, or instead of that option, I got something that was very similar to how King Mickey would help you. However, it wasn't King Mickey's prompt. I can't remember the exact wording, but it was bold, and it looked different. So I selected it. When I selected it, I was revived, but I was in anti-form. That was like the first time and only time that I've ever been able to do that. Does anybody care if I talk over this fucker?
Like law and order are a thing of the past.
You know what? I'll just let him talk.
Last I checked, this is America. And in America, the right of property shall not be infringed. We have the right to claim territory, to hold it, and to defend it. Sure, we took this land from the Indians. No point in rewriting history. But we took it by force. And force is the only thing that will move us now. We're not gonna roll over for a bunch of bullies. If the feds, or rippers, or marauders think they're gonna come rolling into my wilderness, they got another thing coming. The strongest survive. The strongest take, and the strongest will succeed. This is Mark Copeland for Radio Free Oregon. Don't believe the lies.
Well, he's still optimistic about it.
Order are a thing of the past. What are you talking about? But yeah, you got a point about force being the only thing that matters now. Force.
Well, back to the story I was talking about. I only done that once. Not saying that I haven't managed to do it. It's just, since that one time, I actually kind of refused to try doing it again. I don't recall what the line said when I chose the option, but it felt, if I could recall the tone in the line, it was animalistic, rage, it was corrupting, evil, something like that. It was bad. And I felt like, in a sense, I was corrupting Sora, so I chose to use my form sparingly so I don't go into anti-form, you know? It kind of scared me. Thinking that your favorite character is getting corrupted by your own actions, it's kind of fucked. Now, the next two experiences they're based on glitches. One got more fear because of a creepypasta, but the first glitch that I experienced that rubbed me the wrong way was in Ratchet and Clank. You know the original Ratchet and Clank, when the loading screen would take forever and you're just flying through space. And that's the glitch called Lost in Space, and I don't know, just the idea of being lost in outer space, well, lost anywhere, it's scary. I think it's a lot worse when when you're in space, because you don't have any supplies, you don't have any place to sleep. Eventually you're gonna either starve or you're gonna die of something. So as a kid, that thought kind of scared me a bit whenever I experienced this glitch, and it happened quite often because I didn't take due care of my disc. Now, the other glitch happens in Red Dead Redemption. I don't know what causes it. I have no idea how I do it. It's probably a dirty disc or some shit, but it's freezing when you're at a campfire. Now, this scared me a lot more because of a creepypasta where the author described that he set up a campfire but there was no prompts, and when I saw that happen in my game, I thought the same thing was happening, and that scared me. Speaking of creepypastas, I remember there was this Family Guy creepypasta where it describes Peter just awkwardly staring at the viewer. Now, fast forward a while after I read this story, I saw an episode of Family Guy. I think it was a Shawshank Redemption parody where Peter just, at one point, stops talking to Cleveland and looks to the viewer, and I swear, it goes on for a little longer than it should, and it makes me think of that creepypasta, and I was like, oh, shit. What happened to the reader in that story again? I'm not too sure. I don't remember the ending of the creepypasta. That's fucking me up now. I'm pretty sure it ends with death.
Here's the hatch. Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's not true. They're just fictional stories, but once you start seeing patterns that happen in the story happen in real life, it kind of puts you a little on edge. Just a little. You know what? Now that I think about it, these bunkers are kind of creepy. It's just like, well, where are the people now? Did they all die? Were they the raiders? Because that'd be kind of fucked if I just killed all those raiders and then took their shit. Well, I guess technically I already took their shit. You get what I mean, right?
Yes.
Another map. It's gonna tell me where the other fuckers are, and you know what? We'll deal with that later. We have other shit that we need to do. Beautiful.
Got some papers, notes on crafting. Yeah.
We still gotta visit Sarah's memorial. I've been putting that off for a while. I really have. I've been doing a lot of things other than the actual story. Yeah, it's kind of a bad habit with these open world games. You know, it's just, I want to unlock everything as soon as possible. Plus, I just want to get rid of everything that's going to be a problem. In other words, the nests, the ambush camps, like, just get rid of those fuckers. I already have zombies on my ass, I don't need more issues, you know? Especially with the ambush camps. You know, a zombie's bad, a person with a gun and no moral compass is even worse. Unless this game's gonna introduce zombies with guns, then that's worse. Speaking of which, games that have zombies use guns. What the fuck? I mean, does it count as a zombie? I'm sorry, I didn't give you proper context. The Evil Within, those fuckers that lose their soul, are they zombies? Because the first introduction to the enemy, it's a reference to Resident Evil's zombie introduction. I don't think they count as zombies, though. But they do get guns. And they are assholes. They are assholes with the guns. It gets a lot worse if you play Akuma mode on that difficulty. Like, if you choose the Akuma mode difficulty, it gets worse when they have fucking guns. Are they accurate? Kinda. They are kinda accurate. I'll give them that. Oh, hello. I just stabbed your friend. Don't mind me. I do think, however, I did see a zombie with a gun in Dead Rising, but they are so slow and janky that they don't even use a gun half the time. I don't even think they even use a gun. They just hold it in their hand because that was the last thing they had when they died. Good attention to detail. Kind of grateful that they didn't design it where they could actually shoot you with a pistol. I mean, psychopaths are a problem. Zombies with guns, fuck that noise. Ah, god damn it. I think zombies in general are just a pain in the ass. What type of zombie game did I first play? I'm trying to think. It's definitely not this one. I played other zombie games in this one. I want to say that the first zombie game I've actually played from beginning to end, funny enough, was Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. And the reason why this is funny is because I played Undead Nightmare first and not Red Dead Redemption. So I didn't know who the fuck the characters were at all. And then when I actually played the story of Red Dead Redemption, I'm like, oh, I know you from the Undead Nightmare thing. Yeah, okay, now all these characters make sense. It's good to see you alive and breathing. You know, for the most part. I mean, you're not going to survive the other fucking expansion, but it's good to see you. I think after that, the other zombie game I got into was Left 4 Dead. And I started with Left 4 Dead 2, ended up going to Left 4 Dead 1, and then back to 2, because I wanted to play the original, and then I just wanted to play 2. You get what I mean. My first experience that was notable for Left 4 Dead 2, though, was startling the witch for the first time. See, my first time playing, I was at my cousin's, and her and her friends, they were playing, but they kind of got bored with the game midpoint and left to do some other shit. And I asked, hey, can I play? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. So I took point from their part where they paused. They were being swarmed by zombies. And at the time, I didn't know what a special infected was. At least until I shot the witch. And you know how that's gonna go down. The witch got startled, she charged at me screaming, and incapacitated my character, and that scared the shit out of me because I was not expecting it. Then after that, I had to restart the campaign because I died. Not the campaign, I had to restart the chapter. And then I got used to the enemies. Like, I learned about the enemies, I got into the game, I had fun. I think that was the moment that got me into the series. That's why I wanted to go to Left 4 Dead 1, because I always had this issue with playing a sequel or some form of sequel before the first game. And while that hasn't given me too much issues, I just feel like it's problematic. For example, not a horror game, but Sly 2. I played it before Sly 1, and Sly 1 and Sly 2, they're two completely different games. So, the first game's, gameplay kind of threw me off. Wow, I decapitated that fucker. The first game's playstyle versus 2 kind of threw me off. It was more cartoony, if that makes sense. I still had fun with it, though. What are the games that I played that were the sequel before? I guess the Red Dead Redemption expansion kind of counted as a sequel. Not really a sequel, but it was the end of the first one. Like, I'm playing from the end with no context of the story. You get what I mean? That's a little ass backwards. Another one was Saints Row the Third. I played, like I said, the third game, and I didn't play 1 or 2. I did later, and I have to say that between 1 through 3, I think 2 was my favorite. And there's a lot of zombies there. The reason why 2 was my favorite was because there was this one minigame where you could drive a septic tank and literally cover people with shit. I never seen a game that let me do that. I think I dealt with these fuckers. Oh, nope. Still coming after me. No. No. Oh, fuck. Let's see. 1, 2. I think I'm good. 1. And you're 2. Alright. We still have 3 more to deal with, but as long as they're not clustered together, that'd be easy. Let's see. I hear one of these fuckers. I think I hear the other two. I see one. I see the other. Dead. Okay, this ought to be easy. Just sneak around, kill them. No, I want the other thing. The rock. There we go. Rocks are the best invention known to man. Now all of you go over there so I can shoot the barrel. Do it. I don't think the other one's gonna do it. Oh well. You saw nothing. You are nothing but a figment of my imagination. Unfortunately for me, you're an annoying figment that I have to take care of. Get fucked. Oh shit. No. Nobody kills me. We're so close to the end. There we go. Beautiful. That's all of them.
That's the last of them. Hey, babe. I cleaned them out. They won't be bothering you no more. Hey, me again.
Well, shit. So he found the body? That kind of sucks. Oh, we're back in the past.
Hey, it's okay. It's just my nerve.
You told me that we shouldn't come back, and I didn't listen to you. I mean, I knew that it was getting worse, but
None of us knew it was going to blow up like this fast.
you don't understand. I don't know what I would do if I lost you. This is my fault.
Hey.
Just a scratch.
I made a promise. Remember?
Deacon, wait!
Sarah, come on.
There's a kid here. Hey. Hey, are you okay? Come on, we gotta find your parents, okay? Hey, come on.
She really did get stabbed. What the fuck, you little shit? Probably infected.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
Just hold this here as long as you can.
I don't think so. I think I can walk.
Okay, good enough. Almost there. 2 hours ago, this place was calling the feds.
Yeah, they must have evacuated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just above the alley. Yeah, she's burning up. The knife must have nicked her kidney or something. She's turning septic. How you doing, little sister?
So stupid. It was this little kid. This goddamn little kid.
Big goddamn knife.
Hey, help me.
Shit.
Hey, Mom. You want to be when we come through? We gotta get to the roof. Flag down one of those choppers. All right.
Do we get control now? We're gonna run away from the zombies?
Over here. Hey, easy.
She reminded me so much of my little sister, you know? Because we used to play that hide and seek game all the time. And she would just hide her head in her coat just like that.
I've been cut my name, but nothing like that.
She's burning up.
Jesus.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
We gotta move.
And I only have a pistol.
That way. Come on. All right. Hey, sweetheart, can you move? Closer.
Yeah, I got her. Go find us a way out.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, everyone hold on. Hold on.
Jeez. What's that guy's problem?
Okay.
I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse. I guess there's a lot of problems.
Try to sneak up behind him, okay?
It's nothing. Go. I got this. Go.
Hey, I'm unarmed. Get out! Now listen to me. My girl's out there, she's been stabbed. We're just trying to get to the roof. There's a helicopter waiting. So listen. You killed my wife! Oh, no. Look, I didn't know anything about your wife being killed. I am sorry, sir. I didn't do anything. What are you doing? Listen to this. You killed my wife! My wife! You killed her! Stop!
Jesus.
Deke, what happened to you? What's wrong?
Let's go.
You know, that kind of fucked with him. You could see in his eyes. Not many video game characters really give a fuck when they kill somebody, but
She's been wounded.
What's wrong with her?
Well, she's not. Whatever the hell's going on out there, she's been.
full circle.
I can't take it anymore.
Oh, okay, listen, O'Brien. If we don't get her to a hospital, she's going to die.
There are no more hospitals.
Oh, come on, no more hospitals. You got doctors, you got triage, you got a MASH unit.
Oh, look, I'm just a grad student, okay? I got volunteered for this. I'm not even supposed to be out here, okay?
We already popped one person. We'll do it again.
Okay. Shit.
The drama's over, buddy.
Two of you, okay, two.
You got room for two.
You're overweight, okay? I can only take two of you, two.
Come on, help me, come on. All right, sweetheart. That's okay. You're gonna be all right.
I got her.
I'm gonna be right back. Okay, Boozer, let's go. We gotta get on that.
Hold on.
We gotta get on that
I
ship.
heard what he said. There's only room for two on that chopper. Go. Go with her. I'll be okay. Look, I've been through worse shit than this before. You know?
Yeah, we have. Where are you going?
What?
Where?
Refugee camp west of Three Finger Jack.
No.
Boozer is never gonna make it without me. I want this back.
You coming?
No.
Deke!
Yep, full circle. Back to the beginning.
What did you do?
Alright, now do we get to control this part and see what the fuck happens? Because that'd be pretty badass. Surviving the zombies, that's the shit.
You,
Fuck.
You rest easy, okay?
Maybe there's gonna be another segment like this,
I know, yeah.
and we get to control that.
I guess Boozer's right. Can't help myself.
Well, it's been a good amount of time. I
Like I said,
know not much has gotten done, but hopefully those stories were entertaining. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Have a happy and safe Halloween. Take care.